Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. For those that are new, my name is Nelly. When a man wants to get married, he makes his intentions. You've dated this guy for so long with no date limit. He's not even asking, and you begin to ask yourself, why are we not getting married? When a man is not proposing to you, there must be some reasons, and one of the reasons is you're desperate. You may be showing that you're too desperate, and that turns him off, especially if you're not the one. You may think that everything is going well from your point of view, but from his point of view, he sees a desperate woman. So sometimes you just need to slow down because he sees that you're desperate. You've got nowhere to go. So whatever that he does, he knows what to do to soften your heart. And he knows that the only thing he needs to do is just bring you flowers and this long story, and you will accept him back. He doesn't value you and he begins to hurt you. You're always breaking up with him, and he knows that even if he leaves, you're going to accept him back. That is a sign that shows that you're desperate. Sometimes when he leaves, just let him go. Don't call him, don't text him, don't even search his social media, don't do anything. Just let him go. When you begin to accept him going and coming back, he will do that all the time, and he will play that game as well with you because he knows that you're the last option. You're always going an extra mile in this relationship, but it's only one-sided. It's not a bad idea to go an extra mile with somebody that you love, but it shouldn't be one-sided. Then you begin to wonder, why is he not proposing? He knows that you're trying so hard in this relationship. When it comes to relationship, it's a two-way thing. It shouldn't be one-sided. You lower your expectations just to please him. And at the end of the day, you find yourself waiting too long and still there's no proposal. You have no boundaries. You don't set any boundaries with this man. He comes and goes as he pleases. He doesn't even need to work hard for this relationship, but truly he knows that you're not the one. He's just playing along until something better comes his way. It's sad, but that's just how it is. When a man wants to marry you, he will make it clear. And the next thing why he may not be proposing to you is, ask yourself, if you are not a clean person and every time he comes around, your house is so dirty and everything around you so dirty, that puts somebody off. When you just cannot take care of your house, how are you going to do that when you're married? There's nothing worse than walking into a dirty house. That is a serious put off. You don't even want to eat their food. Some people just wake up and they don't even open their windows or even make up the bed. If you're one of those people and you want to get married, you need to change your ways. I'm not saying you should be a neat freak, but when he starts giving you those hints, it means that you need to change your ways. Pay attention to them. And the next one is personal hygiene. That is a major problem. Can you imagine being with somebody that has got a smelly mouth or armpits? How do you handle that situation? I have just this one question. How many times have you changed your toothbrush? I believe about 42% of people don't change their toothbrush. You know, when you don't change your toothbrush as often as you should, sometimes it does cause that bacteria in your mouth. According to research, you should change your toothbrush at least every after 3 to 4 months. I know some people may think it's not such a huge deal. It's a toothbrush anyway. But do you know that a lot of germs can be found in that toothbrush that you are not changing often because you don't feel it's a big deal? And this may also contribute when it comes to bad breath. As a partner, you can help that person. It may be difficult to deal with that, especially if they're not aware of it. So how do you go about telling that person? Sometimes it could just be the roll-on that you're using. It doesn't go with you. And it's somebody that you really like and you feel like maybe you want to spend the rest of your time with that person, then maybe you can just buy them a gift with all the daily things that they might need. And the next issue why you may not be proposing to you is because of your attitude. Because good character makes good chemistry. If you've got an attitude problem and your character is very bad, then this may affect your relationship. To be honest, nobody wants to live with somebody that's got a bad attitude, where every time they open their mouth and you start wondering, I wonder what is she going to say this time. Some people don't even have respect when it comes to their partners. They just speak anyhow. How are you going to expect that person to respect you if you cannot respect them? It's not a matter of who's right or who's wrong. Sometimes you just need to listen without being aggressive all the time. Eventually you'll get tired. When some people have got this bad attitude, they expect that when they are happy, you must pick up where you left from. If you've got a person in your life that's got a bad attitude, communicate about it and tell them. Maybe it's even something that they are not even aware that they're doing. So sometimes it's always best to communicate and tell them that I don't like it when you speak to me like that or when you raise your voice. You need to drop that toxicity amongst each other. It's not good for the atmosphere in the home. Remember, as a woman, you are the mirror of the home. Whatever that you're portraying, your children will learn that from you, especially if you're married. If you're not married, then you must wonder why he's not proposing to you up to now. Next thing that why he's not proposing to you is that you keep nagging all the time. When this happens and you keep doing that, you are delaying from the proposal to happen. There's nothing worse than a woman that keeps nagging about one and the same thing all the time. Some people will want to do something at their own time. Don't keep nagging. You're not their mother. If you have asked him to do something that you want him to do, you've told him, let it be. Don't keep nagging. The Bible says in Proverbs 21 verse 20, it's better to stay in a corner of the roof than staying with a contagious woman. Why would somebody want to stay in a corner of the roof? It's because you are nagging all the time. He will just eventually keep quiet, and that is his strategic way of leaving this relationship without even you realizing it. And your next point is you've offered yourself too soon. You may think that's the best way to show that you love him. If you are going to offer yourself to him before he even tells you that he wants to marry you, then he might just get used to it. And you become a wife without any commitment. This person didn't hint or discuss marriage with you, but you've already given it all to him. You begin to live like a married couple. Sometimes you even end up having a family. So many of us have done those mistakes, but if you have a chance to, you can avoid it. A man is getting all what he wants with no commitment, and you ask yourself, why is he not proposing? You have given him your diamond for free. For some people, it works for them, and others it doesn't. And the next reason why he's not proposing is you may be attracting the wrong person. You're always attracting the wrong guys, the guys that are players, that are not even ready to settle down. They just want to keep chasing women, moving from one woman to another. And you think that just because now you're with them, they will change. They may not change. They are not planning to get married. He won't even discuss the subject of getting married. He's happy to be in a relationship with you. He sees you as just a fling and eventually will move on when he gets bored. You are in this relationship with no set time limit. You keep seeing or dating or even courting this man for so long, but there's no proposal. If you are dating or even courting, set up a time limit. You need to guide your heart, as the Bible says, so that you don't find yourself giving your whole to somebody that has got no intentions with you. Some don't even feel bad that they engaged you 5 years ago, because they know you'll be waiting. Guide your heart and set up a time limit. And the next point why he's not proposing to you is because you don't love yourself enough. You attract who you are. If you love yourself, you attract the same kind, people that are going to love you. If you don't love yourself, you attract that as well. You need to love yourself enough to set those boundaries and stick to them. Don't change them because you feel like this person won't love you enough. If they cannot stick to your boundaries, which means they've got no respect for your boundaries, they don't love you. If you love somebody, you respect them and their boundaries that they've set. Let him know about your boundaries. If you cannot deal with them, let him go. How are you going to be with someone if they disrespect your boundaries and you don't tell them there and there? They'll eventually get used to it and they will feel like it's okay because you didn't say anything in the first place. At this point, you need to get hold of your emotions and leave. At least they will have that respect for you than being with somebody who's got no respect for you. And the next point is, you could have no vision and you want to marry this person. You don't have a vision. You need to have a life. Your life doesn't revolve around this person. Maybe that is why they're even not proposing to you, because you've got no vision, what you want to do. How are you going to become his helper if you don't know what you want to do? Just because he provides for your life and your needs doesn't mean he would want to do it all the time. You need to also prove that you can do things on your own. You have to keep yourself busy. Find something to do. Show him that you can become his helper. Be a Proverbs 31 woman and build yourself up so that he knows that you can also take care of yourself without relying on him. You want him to propose to you, but what are you bringing on the table? Men like independent women that have a vision. When you are busy with your life and building yourself and giving him that space, He will realize that you are worth being his wife. You have a life. You're just not sitting there doing nothing. And the next reason why you may not be proposing to you is because maybe you're not communicating to him enough. You need to make clear with your intentions. Communicate to him how you feel, and he has to make it clear to you his intentions. Don't just give him those silent treatments whenever you have an argument and expect that he will know what's going on. If it starts now before getting married, what's going to happen when you're going to get married? Maybe you've even allowed him to do that as well to you. And this has been dragging for a very long time. Eventually, he will get tired as well. Eventually, he'll feel, I can't marry this person. Whenever we need to communicate about something, she goes silent for days or even weeks at a time. It becomes exhausting. You think to yourself, why would I even marry somebody that's going to give me a headache? He may evaluate his thoughts in order to make those decisions, whether to stay with you or just leave. Communication is very important when it comes to relationship. At least you're both open on what you want and what are your intentions. But sometimes you may feel like this person wants to get married and yet they don't. And if you haven't communicated, you won't know what are their plans. And if you are a man and you feel like you're not ready, let the other person know. Don't let things drag out for too long. Especially if you're both not even communicating well, you've got too many expectations of one another. And this might not lead into a proposal. So ladies, if you love yourself, set those boundaries and have a time limit. Don't sit there and wonder when is he going to propose. First of all, he needs to tell you what his intentions with you. And second, don't let it drag for too long. Because when a man comes into your life, they can quickly make that decision and be able to know if they're going to marry you or not. So don't let him drag you. Thank you for watching. If this is content that you like, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. God bless you.